So, guys, some coffee.
Thank you.
And time for a small chat. As in a small 5 minutes, let's dive into how it is going. But for now, summer holidays.
Yeah, kind of.
Do you have time for holidays if you're in a startup?
Yeah, you do. I think everyone needs time to decompress in the end. Depends, of course, on how much energy you have. But for us, we had a pretty hectic year, and this is really the perfect time for us to now plan for the next year. Normally, you don't have really time to do these kind of things because in the week itself, you have all these things that you need to take care of, like, for example, onboarding of someone or how the marketing campaign should go, all these kind of things. But now that people are also taking time off within the company, we actually have time to look at the year ahead.
Okay, and does that say also something about the status of CodeSandbox right now? Because if you're in a startup, there are like hundreds of elements that you need to work on, and it's not even only the product that you're building, but you had a huge investment a while ago already, but more as in there, you have to decide on all kind of things, and now, like in these weeks off, as in, is it more clear where CodeSandbox is right now?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it's going pretty well. Vision is clear. So yeah, that's all going well. But yeah, in certainly the early stages of CodeSandbox, we always use the summer holidays to work on CodeSandbox because there are no other things that grab your attention, like exams, that kind of stuff, or any assignments. So in that sense, for people that are just starting with their startup, yeah, take the holidays to try something new, build something, learn something,
Release something,
relax.
Yeah. So it's not per se the best time to work on stuff, but it can be a good time to work on stuff.
Definitely, yeah. Well, while I was studying, the studying time was more of the time that I was able to think, and then during the holidays I would implement all the thinking. And now it's kind of the inverse, because during work time I have less time to think because we're just working on the issues at hand. Yeah. But now with this time off, we actually have some time to think again, which is really important.
Right, and what will we see in the coming weeks with CodeSandbox? Is in then huge development still in the processes of what you build do?
Yeah. The biggest thing that I am thinking about right now is what the architecture is going to be like for CodeSandbox in terms of how we implement different parts of the technology, and a big part of that is who we're going to hire. So we're now making hiring plans for the next year, and in a global sense, we're looking at it. How many people do we want to hire? Also, how many people do we want to hire in each team? But also in a micro sense, looking at which people we want to hire, what kind of people, can we convince them to switch companies, for example, those kind of things.
But yeah, and other than that, like our team goes on vacation phases. So like the first half of the company is on vacation right now, which gives us time to work with the other half and do a bit of thinking, and then in a few weeks, like the other way around, they will come back and the other part will go on vacation.
So if there are like huge and great developers still watching this, as in there will be some hiring, and if you're the top notch, then keep an eye on. Always good to know.
Yeah.
But then, like our community, of course, you're still part of the community, but whereas you did start a program yourself, you had all kind of elements. Like any tips also, you already gave some on what you do right now, but also in a way as in using these moments during the summer. As in, I can imagine that some people that are watching this maybe even graduate now and think like, do I go full mode startup? Do I take a job? Is any?
Well, I think a good thing that we did was we were working on CodeSandbox for a while, and then we weren't sure if it was going to take off. That might seem weird now, but of course we were also there. For us, it really helped to set a release date. So we're going to work on this until then, and then we're going to release it if it's finished or not. That way you have something to live towards, and if it works in the coming weeks, and otherwise it also gives you some time to reflect. Is this still the thing that I want to build or not? So it's like setting a clear end date, because otherwise you can really get into something really small and working on it without keeping the bigger picture in mind.
Yeah. It's like the holidays idea. It's not you're going endless on holidays. It's like you go on holidays and then enjoy it and take your time. And then
So
then that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Holidays, you have some time to think about it, but also maybe have a clear sense. So I want to work on this until the end of the holidays, so I can focus on the next thing.
Yeah. You should set a deadline. That's the safest way to do it, I think. Definitely. You could, for example, say, I'm gonna build something during the holidays, and the deadline is the end of the holidays, and then I should have released it. And then you can just watch it grow. Or you don't see it grow, but then you've learned something.
Nice. Talking about a deadline, we're going to finish this one off. Because we're also going to grab lunch, because I think the three of us are quite hungry. Any final recommendations on books, things to watch this summer, or do people need to take an eye on you this summer, as in what you've developed?
Always keep an eye on us. No, that sounds. No. If you're interested in working for a dynamic company with some real challenges, then definitely. Yeah.
But otherwise, resource that we also used was Startup School from Y Combinator. If you want to learn some basic stuff, so that's a really good. They have a lot of videos explaining all the things.
Yeah, and also the book. I found the book, The Hard Things About Hard Things, really inspiring. Yeah, that was super nice.
So enough to watch and to read.
And there is a lot. There are so many resources. You can also decide to take the full holiday to read a lot of books. That's also definitely possible.